Congress leader Abhishek Manu Singhvi has just tweeted, basically saying that he will have to look very closely into this ordinance. But he's used very harsh words. He says clearly it is an act of a bad, poor, and graceless loser for issuing this ordinance right after that Supreme Court verdict. But take a look at some of the reactions that are coming in at this time.
कि स्थानीय सरकार अरविंद केजरीवाल ने प्रशासकीय गरिमा को जो क्षति पहुंचाई है और जिस तरह का आचरण किया है उससे दिल्ली ही नहीं पूरे भारत की छवि पर असर पड़ता है और मैं इस फैसले का स्वागत करता हूं। दिल्ली की प्रशासनिक व्यवस्था केंद्र सरकार के माध्यम से सुरक्षित हो, सुनिश्चित हो। दिल्ली में पूरे विश्व के राजदूत रहते हैं, सुप्रीम कोर्ट यहाँ है, राष्ट्रपति यहाँ है, पार्लियामेंट यहाँ है। हर घटना का असर पूरे विश्व पर पड़ता है।
जिस प्रकार से अरविंद केजरीवाल को माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट के एक निर्णय के बाद रात में ताला खुलवा रहे हैं, अपने खिलाफ जो भ्रष्टाचार की जांच कर रहा है उसी को हटाने में लग गए, साक्ष्य नष्ट करने में लग गए, तो ये तो कानून किसी को नहीं इजाजत देता है। ऐसे में हम इस अध्यादेश का हमारी पूरी लोकसभा कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी और पूरी दिल्ली के लोग इसका स्वागत करते हैं, क्योंकि जो व्यवस्था है वो केंद्र शासित प्रदेश की तरह ही चलना चाहिए।
An official reaction expected shortly from the Aam Aadmi Party. And Saurabh Bharadwaj, Delhi MLA, has just spoken to India Today's sister channel Aaj Tak. But I'm sure there's going to be a very strong official reaction from the party coming in very shortly. The BJP, already justifying this ordinance. Polami, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, one of the lawyers, that represented the Delhi government in this case in the Supreme Court, saying that this is the act of a graceless loser. When are we expecting a reaction from the Aam Aadmi Party? And I'm guessing that their reaction is going to be just as sharp as Abhishek Manu Singhvi's.
Oh, absolutely, Shiv. Expect a very sharp reaction from the Aam Aadmi Party. In fact, Shiv, we've been speaking to our sources within the AAP as well after the Supreme Court order was out, and they suspected there might be a move from the center in this regard. Some were even talking about an ordinance, but of course, a surprise move by the center tonight when, of course, they in fact issued the Gazette notification for this ordinance, specifically through the Ministry of Law and Justice, which has a new law minister in place since yesterday. So clearly, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, of course, one of the lawyers who represented the Delhi government in court in this matter, expressing with some very sharp words. Of course, he says that the details of this ordinance need to be understood. Remember that there are several subsections to this ordinance, which has now been promulgated by the center. But very interestingly,
Polami, Delhi Minister Atishi has just reacted. I'm coming right back to you. Let's play out.
उन्होंने कहा कि अरविंद केजरीवाल को दिल्ली की जनता ने चुन के भेजा हो। अरविंद केजरीवाल को दिल्ली की जनता ने 90% से ज्यादा सीटें दी हों, लेकिन अरविंद केजरीवाल दिल्ली नहीं चलाएंगे, केंद्र सरकार दिल्ली चलाएगी। तो ये साफ नजर आता है कि केंद्र सरकार अरविंद केजरीवाल से डरी हुई है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के फैसले से डरी हुई है और उसकी वजह से ये अध्यादेश लेकर आई है जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट के फैसले की अवमानना है। केंद्र सरकार जो ये अध्यादेश लेकर आई है, ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट की संवैधानिक पीठ के फैसले की साफ साफ अवमानना है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने यह फैसला दिया कि चुनी हुई सरकार के पास निर्णय लेने की ताकत होनी चाहिए। यही लोकतंत्र है, यही लोकतंत्र का सम्मान है। लेकिन आज जो अध्यादेश केंद्र सरकार लेकर आई है, वो उस हार के डर से, अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की सरकार को पावर देने के डर से वो ये अध्यादेश लेकर आई है। उन्होंने कहा कि अरविंद केजरीवाल को दिल्ली की जनता ने चुन के भेजा हो। अरविंद केजरीवाल को दिल्ली की जनता ने 90% से ज्यादा सीटें दी हों, लेकिन अरविंद केजरीवाल दिल्ली नहीं चलाएंगे, केंद्र सरकार दिल्ली चलाएगी। तो ये साफ नजर आता है कि केंद्र सरकार अरविंद केजरीवाल से डरी हुई है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के फैसले से डरी हुई है और उसकी वजह से ये अध्यादेश लेकर आई है जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट के फैसले की अवमानना है।
Okay, let's get a word in from India Today's executive editor Preeti Chaudhary as well, who looks at the Aam Aadmi Party and politics very closely. Preeti, right, just days after that Supreme Court verdict, this ordinance drops. What do you think? How's this going to play out?
Well, explosive where politics is concerned, Shiv, what the Aam Aadmi Party was expecting, they were expecting an ordinance. I've been speaking with them for a while now, and they've constantly feared that the government's going to come in with an ordinance. Now, what it really primarily does, Shiv, is if you read the ordinance, it's back to square one where the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. What is proposed in the ordinance, that there'll be now a new committee of 3 members, the Chief Minister as Chairman, Chief Secretary, and Principal Secretary Home as members. Now, this committee will decide on majority basis all transfers and postings in Delhi of IAS officers. The catch is, Shiv, that the Chief Minister is already in minority in this current committee, because the current Chief Secretary and Principal Secretary are both central government appointees. More so, there's another big, catch in this, and that primarily stems from the fact that even if this committee recommends transfers of IAS officers or postings of an officer, the decision finally rests with the LG. So it's back to square one where the Aam Aadmi Party was, because if you look at it, what really went down in Supreme Court was another ordinance which the Aam Aadmi Party had challenged. It's been a 5-year-long fight, or nearly 6-year-long fight for the Aam Aadmi Party. For them, they'll have to go back to the drawing board. Their best bet right now, legally, is they're already, speaking with Abhishek Manu Singhvi, who's of course tweeted out. They are going to go and approach the Supreme Court. They're going to ask for a stay on this ordinance. That's their best bet, because after that, it's a long haul again. It's back to the drawing board legally for the Aam Aadmi Party, and it's going to be a long legal fight again. But what they can do right now, and if the Supreme Court agrees, is stay this ordinance. That's their best bet legally. Politically speaking, Shiv, the Aam Aadmi Party trusts them. They've already started giving out statements from the morning. They are going to make this into a slight of the highest court of the country. They are building a campaign where it's not just a judge. It's a slight of a constitutional bench. A bench sat on this. It's been a 5-year fight, and they are going to make it that the government has slighted the topmost, court in the country. Not just that, but a constitutional bench. But net, it's a big blow where the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. It's back to the drawing board in terms of what their fight was 5 years ago.